Today, it's time for some crazy excuses police have received when pulling someone over. This is another reaction video from Reddit. I haven't seen these stories yet, but my wife told me that the last story is amazing, so be sure to stick around to the end. Let's go. A friend of mine has a brother that is a state trooper. She told me a story one time of how he pulled over a young kid for swerving while driving. The driver did not notice the sirens right away and took a while to pull over. That could be considered eluding if you're in Virginia. Be careful. Her brother suspected the kid was intoxicated and thinking they may try to run. Before he approached the vehicle, he asked the kid to turn off his car and place both hands outside of the window. The kid only places his left hand out of the driver's side window. By this time, the trooper was getting a little nervous and repeating his command and informing the kid he had his gun out. Okay, if an officer's pulling a gun on you, you might want to pay attention and keep your hands where they can see them, and I would keep very still. He told the kid 3 times to place both hands out of the window before he approached the car, and had discovered the kid had pissed his pants. The driver was trying to stick his left hand outside of the driver window and his right hand outside of the passenger window, but he couldn't reach. I am 6'3" or so, maybe 6'4", depending on my shoes. And you know what? I don't think I could even put my left hand outside the driver window and my right hand outside the passenger window. I may have to go try that here in just a second and see if it's even possible. Okay, the trooper felt bad but laughed his ass off. Kid was drunk and got a DUI. That could be a new field sobriety test. All right, my uncle is a cop in town, and he would always tell the story of the time he pulled over this Fabio-looking guy. Ooh, Fabio. Riding his Ducati without a helmet. Ducatis are nice bikes. My accountant actually races Ducatis. When prompted as to why he wasn't wearing a helmet, he responded, "I just took a shower, officer. I'm just drying my hair." I guess that would go along with the Fabio look. If he's got these long locks and he needs his hair to blow in the breeze, I guess that's a good reason to not wear your helmet. But unfortunately, if you're riding a motorcycle without a helmet, you're literally asking to die. I was just talking with my staff about riding motorcycles. It's definitely not something that I want to do ever. Story number 3 from Bird 1979. A guy from my church is a state trooper, and I wish I could remember this story better. He pulled over a large passenger van, and when he went up to the driver, no one in the van would talk. There was like 12 of them. That is a large van or a lot of people sitting on each other's laps. He could tell they had been partying and were in good moods, though nervous. He kept trying to get them to talk when someone from the back handed a piece of paper up to the driver. The driver handed it to the trooper. They were a bunch of deaf mutes coming from a function. Literally couldn't hear or talk to give answers. They were able to communicate through writing. He tells the story really funny, but he said that was a memorable traffic stop. No joke. I just read a headline about a guy who was deaf, couldn't hear the police's commands, ended up getting tased, and spent 4 months in jail, essentially, I guess, on charges of obstruction of justice or something like that. So it really, all joking aside, this is serious stuff when officers don't understand that a person literally cannot hear their commands. I actually had a case of my own where a client was charged with racing another person who he didn't know, and the other person was actually deaf. The officer charged them both with racing, and usually when the officers understand what's happening and somebody has limited communication, a lot of the officers are very able to communicate with them by writing, or if there's a language barrier, they can call a phone interpreter. All joking aside, these issues are very serious, and things go badly when officers don't realize that you don't understand them. Story number 4 from Bastid. I don't know what Bastid stands for, but anyway. I messed up bad a year ago. Well, not that bad, but embarrassing. My neighbor's a highway patrol, and I remember his car number by heart. My friend's father is also a cop, but higher up. I always would use my friend's dad if I got pulled over, unless it was highway patrol. Oh, I guess use my friend's dad as in, hey, I know so-and-so, he's your boss. Some departments that might work a whole lot. Some departments that might get you more tickets, and frankly in a lot of trouble, so be careful with that. I got followed by a highway patrol 2 blocks after I left my house to head to work. After a couple minutes, he throws the lights and pulls me over, even though I knew he was there and was being 100% grandma. He walks up to the window and does regular license registration thing. After I hand it to him and he's about to take it to his car, I mention my neighbor, saying his full name and car number, and he acknowledges he knows him. At least 5 to 10 minutes later, he walks back hysterically laughing, saying that he is my neighbor. I don't know how I missed it. I felt so stupid. I just played cards and had some beers with him a week earlier. The whole time he was in the squad car, he was calling my mom, his wife, and others, laughing about what was going on, while I'm in my car, nervous, waiting for a ticket that I don't know what it's for. This story gets told every time we see each other, but it makes me laugh too with how dumb I was. But I had never seen him in full uniform before, That's the excuse I go with. So I guess he was trying to get out of a ticket and didn't realize his neighbor was the actual person who was in the process of pulling him over. The reverse of this is I know lots of officers, but a lot of times when I see them out in public in their street clothes, not in their uniform, I can't recognize them for anything. And of course, they know me and they recognize me in street clothes because that's what I wear all the time. But it really is weird how the memory works, and when the uniform changes, literally, our memory sometimes just doesn't function. All right, story number 5 from Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy, I like it. I pulled over a guy going 60 in a 35. Get up to his car and it is literally stuffed with balloons. Like the dude had cleared him out of viewport in his windshield through the balloons, not sure how he even saw me behind him. I stop him, approach the car, getting more and more confused the closer I get as I take in the majesty that is this guy's clearly unsafe to operate vehicle. So I stopped you for going 60 in a 35. Is there any justifiable reason for that? The guy just shakes his head. He looks like a beaten, broken, returning war vet. It's my kid's birthday. I forgot the balloons and my wife sent me out for them. I was supposed to be back an hour ago and sighs. Would a ticket help? You can tell her I detained you for like an hour. Nah, man, she'd just be mad about money too then. That's epic. So he forgot the balloons for the kid's birthday, and now he's going to be late and get a ticket. And I guess the officer just gave him a warning, is what this sounds like. That's a good officer and has a great story to tell. Please leave a comment down below if you've ever given a crazy excuse to a police officer. Let us know how it went. Or if you're an officer, what excuses have you heard from drivers? If you enjoyed this video, please check out the next one about the guy charged with going 162 miles an hour on his own driveway. I'll see you over there.